Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to today's video, and today we're going to go through our preview and predictions of the upcoming Rugby League Ashes series between England and Australia. This will be the first time a 3-game test series will be played between the two nations since 2002, when originally it was Australia and Great Britain. And now, just a generation later, the rivalry is renewed. So in this video we'll go through both squads, how each team can essentially win it, and go through the official prediction of who I think will take out this series. And to begin this video, we will start by going through the host nation side of England.
I'll never forget that first day at pit. Me and my father worked a 72-hour shift.
England's side has a mix of players from the NRL and the Super League, but there is some controversy in terms of some of the selections, which we'll get into later. But the full squad consists of John Bateman, AJ Brimson, Joe Burgess, Darryl Clark, Herbie Farnworth, Evan Havard, Tom Johnstone, Morgan Knowles, Matty Lees, Mikey Lewis, Jez Litton, Mike McMeekin, Harry Newman, Nikolaj Oledzki, Kai Pearce-Paul, Harry Smith, Morgan Smithies, Owen Trout, Alex Walmsley, Jake Wardle, Callum Watkins, Jack Wellsby, George Williams, and Dom Young. AJ Brimson is going to be quite interesting to see how he does go in this. Obviously, this year swapping from Australia to England eligibility due to his mother being English, and has been a pretty prevalent player for the Gold Coast Titans and for Queensland especially. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does go with adapting with this English side. Got to throw in the Knights boys, Dom Young and Kai Pearce-Paul. Well, technically, Kai Pearce-Paul is still a part of the Knights until obviously next year when he transitions to the Tigers. But there's some pretty decent players here. But two have been left out from the Super League, which has got people really angry. Which concedes a Super League top try scorer Lewis Martin and Man of Steel Jake Connor. For those who don't know, Man of Steel is the Dally M medal equivalent for the Super League. But yeah, very interesting as to why they've not selected him. I did try to go through people's comments saying about why people weren't selected, and they were saying that Martin wasn't ready to go against the Australians, but it's like, so he's not ready to do that, but he's ready to score 25 tries in a season. Like, are we being for real? But yeah, very interesting to see how this team does come into it, because it has been drilled in by the England coach about how important this series is, and talking about how the last time England or Great Britain won a series against Australia was back, I believe, in the early 70s. So this is a very important moment for this country, especially as they get into lead up for momentum for next year's Rugby League World Cup. And as we go into that, let's look at their opponents, Australia.
And I said, oh, what are you doing, mate? Like, you can't be leaving the scene. And he goes, don't be a hero, mate. And I said, I'm not trying to be a hero, but the police are coming.
Kevin Walters, I think, was under a lot of pressure in terms of who's actually going to select in this, because a lot of players rose cream to the top is somewhat, and it's been a pretty heated battle, but he has gone with this squad. Josh Adokar, Bradman Best, Blake Brayley, Patrick Carrigan, Nathan Cleary, Lindsay Cottons, Ruben Cotter, Angus Crichton, Tom Dearden, Dylan Edwards, Tina Fasua-Malawi, Harry Grant, Keon Koloamatangi, Mitchell Moses, Cameron Munster, Martin Awangani Tawase, Jacob Preston, Jeremy Shibasaki, Lindsay Smith, Katoni Staggs, Ethan Strange, Reece Walsh, Isaiah Yeo, and Hudson Young. With several debutants. Ethan Strange, I mean, he had a pretty good year, pretty much. And Reece Walsh, I mean, coming off his grand final exploits, really important that he did get selected. But yeah, also a lot of talking points, particularly around Keon Koloamatangi and Tina Fasua-Malawi in terms of what was their eligibility going to be, because there was rumours about them swapping over to different countries, but they look like they're going to stay. So yeah, it's very solid team. Also, adding on to the English Man of Steel not being selected, the Dally M player of the year was not selected either, because James Tedesco is not in the squad. Now we're going to go into how I think both teams win this, and I think for Australia it's pretty simple, like, play to your ability. Like, there have been points in time where I'm only really basing this off of, I guess, when it's the World Club Challenge, and there has been points where Australian teams, especially in the recent years when it's been done, have kind of not played expectation, and then, you know, like, I mean, Penrith lost twice in the World Club Challenge to both St Helens and Wigan, respectfully. But I think for England I feel like for them to win this, is they need to force Australia to play the English game rather than the Australian one. I genuinely think in terms of score lines, a lower scoreline, in my mind, benefits England a lot better than a high scoring one. It's like I personally don't think that England can put up the amount of points. Say if Australia goes on like a 30-40 point scoring tirade, I don't think England can match that, because it's very much, it may be a little bit of a slow game, but the England game is like, yep. Like if they can make the Australians frustrated, they could cause an upset. So now after that, I'm going to go into how I think this will go out. Going to be a bit controversial here and say, I don't think England whitewashed this. I'm sorry. I feel like if England was to win this series, it would be a 2-1. One thing that is actually interesting that has been brought up is that there's no golden point in any of these matches. After 80 minutes, if it's a draw, it's a draw. Just like how it should be. But yeah, I feel like if any team is more to do the whitewashing, it would be Australia. But it will be interesting to see how England does come into this. They did win their test series last year against Samoa, and Samoa had a pretty decent team. So you never know. I think they could be up for it. But yeah, I'm going to say I think it'll be 2-1 Australia. But I do think there'll be very positive signs for England as they prepare for next year's Rugby League World Cup. And that's the end of the video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you have got predictions of how this series will go, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you all later.